Well, I'm on my way back from the Meadows, and it didn't dawn on me until I got an email from somebody saying, Anthony, what happened with Jolene Hall today? That I forgot to load it. I forgot to upload the video. It's great to do videos, but if you don't upload them, no one gets to see them. So in 4, 5, 6 short hours, my videos become obsolete. So I'll just run through the whole day again. I was on my way into the barn this morning at 7:40 with the kids, and Amy said, and I made it very clear, everybody was on edge because I said we were going to video the babies. Now remember, these horses were just broke. Some of them are still being really stubborn. Certainly not, they're certainly nowhere ready to train a mile or anything like that. They're just jogging 3-4 laps. So there was some apprehension from everybody in the barn. What are these horses going to behave in a group of 6, 7? Of course they are. More times than not, if you expect a horse to behave, they will. It's when somebody gets around and expects them to act up and is on edge, horses can sense that. So I just laid everybody's concern to rest and said, listen, we're going to video the horses tomorrow. Nothing is going to be wrong. It's all fine. I just want to give everybody a sneak peek at what we've done so far and what they purchased. That's all. Nothing more. So I got there today. I was on my way in, and Amy had messaged me. I made it very clear to everybody. Oh, this one's sick, or that one, was sick earlier in the week, and this one was coughing earlier. I said, it's very simple. I'm going to make it as simple as I can. If the horse eats, doesn't have a temperature, and isn't coughing, it's going on the track. Simple as that. And there were 3 horses that did not fit that criteria. Jolene Hall was one of them. Temperature of 102.1. She's fine now. But again, in no shape to go on the track and do any sort of heavy lifting of any sorts. And you might say to yourself, wow, they're just jogging. Keep in mind, they've just been broke. It's all heavy lifting to them. Right? Cheers to beers. Temperature also coughing quite a bit. And Love Sensation. I really wanted to get her on the track, obviously because she has a ton of shares left and I want to show everybody how nice she looks. But just because she's a likable filly also. But she couldn't, so those 3 were scratched. In between all the sets, I trained 3 horses today. Drebin. Now Drebin, we had made some, Tim had made some, I would say, wholesale shoeing changes on him. After his last race, we talked about it. Then he didn't get in, we weren't going with him. So, we never got to try him out with them on. I trained him this morning. Now I only went a mile and 2:30. He's in on Friday, can't go much with him. I only went a mile and 2:30, but I let him bust down the lane a little bit. Finish up his mile good. Into the turn after. That's the best I've ever seen that horse trot. Now, I can't say that will equal him trotting the fastest. All I can tell you is that's the best I've seen him train. Best I felt him look. He just looked good. Chap was good also. I trained him. 221 today. I backed him up a little bit. Right now, for the next few weeks, it's just going to be confidence building. His gait's really, really cleaned up. He looks nice. Really nice. But confidence is still in the toilet. You gotta watch him all the time. You gotta help him. It's gonna take a little time. He's trotting good. When you start to get horses down to that 32-second speed, that's racehorse speed, right? Unless that's all they can go. But this is a well-bred colt with a nice gait, big, strong fella. I don't imagine that's all he can go. I don't think there'll be any problems with Chap, but we just have to. There's baby steps. A lot of hurdles in between now and a winner's circle anywhere. And you're not going to be able to bust through them with him. I told you guys the story the other day about teaching your kid to ride a bike. You still got the training wheels on. Just needs a little time. And really don't care, really didn't train well. I don't know what get into her. She wasn't sore. She just wasn't trotting well. I know we just had her shod. Maybe that's what it was. I'm not sure. But I had gone on the track with her, and I thought she should be fine. Just assuming she was fine. I was on the lookout for her to be sore somewhere. I didn't really see any soreness, but she didn't want to trot, so we just had her shot. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I talked to Jason a little bit, talked to Dr. Latessa. We're going to treat her for EPM. And Jason Merriman's going to have to train her on Saturday. Obviously, Jason McGinnis is not here right now. He is in New Jersey with Maury. So I'm not really concerned with the way anybody trained today. The trainers, I was very pleased with Drebin, and mildly happy with Chap also, and disappointed with Really Don't Care. But listen, if we're talking about another Chap situation where she just got to get her feet under her, it was just a bad training day. This affiliate's already raced. Tried at 57 a month, 5 weeks ago. I'm sure she'll bounce back fine. My biggest concern would be if she was sore, and I didn't find any soreness on her today. I guess before we get into the babies, then we'll talk about Lonely Lakewood's race today. I was happy with Lonely Lakewood. We changed his shoes all around, just threw 4 aluminums on him. I didn't know how he dropped like that. He was good. I got outdrove by Ronnie. He hoodwinked me pretty good there. We're going in the first turn. Jeremy left for the horse. It was 9 trillion to 1 from the outside, and Mike's sitting in the front. I think Hunter maybe in the 2-hole. Now Ronnie's sitting in a spot where he's in the 3-hole. I'm in the 4-hole. Now all Ronnie did was wait until I backed up, and as I started to back up, he let Jeremy in, and away you go with the favorite. Now I'm in the worst position you can be in. Aside from locked in, I'm going to have to come first over into the favorite, which I had to do. Now, my options of what I could have done at that point were low, because my only option would be to stay right behind Jeremy, force Ronnie to fill the hole, and then Jeremy backs up and I have to come 3 wide. That's a loss for Anthony. Or he waits until Jeremy advances and then he lets him in the hole. I have to keep continuing on to the front. Out comes Ronnie. Now he's second over behind me. Another loss for Anthony. So it was a tough position to be in. Second would have meant that we got all we were getting anyway, but we were third. So I was left feeling like the pitcher that just gave up a home run in the bottom of the 9th. I immediately recognized, and I guess as I play it out in real time with you, there really was no other way around it. The only option I had was one I didn't have enough power to do, which just simply be, as Jeremy's starting to get down there, I'll just loop out around him and come 100. But Lonely Lakewood doesn't have that bust, that big burst. He doesn't mind racing first over. He raced very well first over. Should have been second, but didn't race bad. Now, I will continue with the aged horses for a moment. I'm going to talk about the sale that's coming up on Monday. I entered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 horses in the sale on Monday. And Lonely Lakewood is one of them. As we start to see those horses creep forward, I would have loved to have won today. Now he's out of the class at Northfield. He has to race the numbers of 5 but 8 claimer at the Meadows. He can do there. They go for less money though. Is that would be perfect, but instead we were third. He does fit a couple of classes, but he did trot well today and trot a mile with 56 flat. Now here's the problem I have about the sales, and I'm going to be upfront with everybody. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but there have been people over the last 2 weeks trying to sell horses, decent horses, and they got murdered at the sales. You find this weird kind of lull as you head to the Harrisburg sale. People are looking at Harrisburg saying, I'm not going to buy off on gate, I'll buy at Harrisburg. I don't particularly like that move, but to each his own. So I've been watching the sales. The reason I didn't put the horses in the last sale, because I thought that this very thing would happen. Now my question, I guess, to myself is that, are we in the storm? Was that the calm before the storm? Or is it past? And it's weird, because if you watch the way horses sell in our industry, it's like the ocean, right? There's this wave. And I'm not looking to gouge anybody, but I'm not looking to sell really any of the horses on this list unless we get fair market value. So I'll be completely frank. There is a good chance that we buy plenty of them back. There's nothing I can do with that. I watched the last preferred sale. There was a ton of horses. Make an offer, make an offer, make an offer, make an offer. No one sold their horses. On gate the other day, a bunch of people bought their horses back. One big barn in particular bought a number of their horses back. And we just have to be prepared to do that going into the sale. So I'm going to talk to you about the horses. I guess this is alphabetical order. Yeah, it looks like alphabetical order. Chime Bell. The only reason I'm talking about selling Chime Bell is she is going to graduate out of that Numbers of 4 class at Northfield. As you can see, there's a bit of a log jam. That's why Lonely Lakewood didn't get in and was over here. That's why Chime Bell is over here on Thursday. It's for that very reason. So we are going to put her on gate and see what transpires. I'm not too worried about it. She can do in there. If we have to buy her back, it isn't like, oh my God, what are we going to do now? We're not in that situation. But we're also in a situation where people can see that and say, yeah, she fits classes at Saratoga. She fits classes at Northfield, at the Meadows, wherever, Ontario, I don't care. But she fits classes. But again, it has to be fair market. This isn't a fire sale. Not giving anything away. Drebin is the next horse in the sale. We have a number of horses that are going to start filling up that numbers of 5 but 8. 3 Point Blue Chip made his way to Ohio this week because the class didn't even fill at the Meadows. It's not that he didn't get in. The class didn't fill. That presents a pretty difficult problem for us. Now what? So, 3 Point Blue Chip went down. Put him in the optional 50 claimer. Which I made sure I called Tom first and said, this is where I think he should go, all things considered, but it's a tough pill to swallow. But Tom, being, somebody who's been in the game a long time, says put him where he belongs. It's exactly what we did. Drebin also. He's in the class below that. He can do in the class above. Problem is, we have Pickpocket. We have Memory and Imagination coming back. We have Irresistible Sun, if we want to race him there, coming back. We have a bunch of horses overlapping. So, I can't put Memory and Imagination and Irresistible Sun on the sale board. They're in the field. No one's buying Pickpocket off his last line, even though, upon further review, it was a hell of a mile. His elbows were broken. So Chime Bell, Drebin, both in the sale. Lonely Lakewood, I just told you, he's in the sale. Love and Affection, same type of thing as Chime Bell. Eventually she's going to get out of that class. Right now they're going to start tripping over one another. And until we see how these fall classes are going to settle out, I'm going to try to be on the offense as much as I can. Relieve some of the pressure in the burn. But again, there's nothing wrong with Love and Affection. The only reason she isn't sitting on a win is because I think I hit a wheel with her the other day. I think I'm like 92% sure I did. I couldn't see it. I watched the replay. It all presented as if a wheel was hit, but I can honestly say I didn't hear it. I didn't feel it. Pretty sure that's what happened. Serious Dragon. He's got the 7-hole, Numbers 2000. 25 claimers not filling. He's not filling regularly in Dayton also. Nice horse. Should be classes for this horse. A number of racetracks. He's not going back to Ontario. One of our clients said, can we ship him back to Ontario? Absolutely not. I'm not taking a step backwards, sending him to a place where this exact same thing is going to happen. He might go out winning 50 and then get murdered his next start. And there's not enough straight claimers right here, right now, to accommodate Serious Dragon. He should be at Saratoga. I don't know if he get around Yonkers. I assume he would. I don't know. Should be in, Plain Ridge still racing. Dover. There's a multitude of places this horse should be. They're just not filling it enough times here for us. Stay close. I'm threatening to put this is not how I wanted to go into a sale. We'll stay close. Park the whole way last and 7th place finish. 2 wins before that. This is not how I wanted to win the sale. Class didn't go. They called. You want to put them in the open? Absolutely, positively, 100% no. Couldn't get in at Dayton. Not going back to Northfield to race the Numbers of 12, because that's where you have to go. Tough enough bunch. Again, not filling all the time. I'm in a tough spot with him. I'll keep him. I'm not giving him away. I know he's a good horse. Aside from everything else, It's really hard to find good horses. And just because momentarily right now it's hard to get in doesn't mean you won't in a month. I don't really want to wait a month. So if you're going to pay me fair market value for Stay Close, we can have them. That's pretty much my feeling on the situation. And widespread panic. Again, can't get in at Northfield, can't get in at the Meadows. Too many non-winners of 2, non-winners of 3 horses. Okay, mental note. Buy better horses right now. They will get in as everything starts to shift around, but then you're going to see another log jam. Now this is closer to Christmas, as you start to see Philadelphia shut down, the Poconos shut down. Those horses got to go somewhere. Widespread panic is a frustrating situation. Super green, powerful colt. He's got talent. He's got lots of racing ahead of him. But where? Another, same client. Why don't we go to Ontario? How about no? I'm not going to Ontario where the non-winners of 2 goes in 54. I did this. We had this dance in Indiana, except he run. He's not a 54 trotter right now. And I am not racing horses up to the level we need them to be. What I mean by that is, I'm not going to watch them finish 5th, 6th, and 7th and just wait for that ship to sail by. Then get on it and say, oh, no, there, he raced good, 54, 55. That could be 8 weeks away. It could be 10. I'm not doing it. So we get 7 horses going into sale on Monday. Chime Bell, Drebin, Lonely Lakewood, Love and Affection, Serious Dragon, Stay Close, and Widespread Panic. Now, there's not much more to be said about that. We've been counseling and talking about this for a while. This is the direction we want to head. I'm not racing horses over their head. They're not getting in consistently. It's the same thing with Yo Mister. I don't know if he get in. I told Harry, put him in the claimer then. Not racing against that horse anymore. You want to take him? Fill your boots. We can replace these horses. It isn't easy. But when they can't get in or they have to race over their head, what's the point? So that's what went on this morning, except the babies. Now, as I said, there was a ton of apprehension in the barn. Our riders were fantastic today. Very quiet with the babies. The babies were learning. There was nobody. The only horse that kicked that I heard of was one that I was sitting behind. She was just goofing off. Eyes of 10's baby, just being a little disobedient. Didn't like a horse go by her training, just thought she was going to tee off in the jog cart. No more of that. But I was happy with what I saw. So I'm going to start with, as I said, I'm going to go over the 3 horses that were scratched again. Just sick, no big deal, they're fine. Love Sensation, Jolene Hall, and Cheers for Beers. Didn't go today, didn't leave their stall today. When I walked by, they were all eating lunch. They all felt good. This is something I like to do also. Keep an eye on the horses, whether they're, whether you're talking about how are they acting after they train, or it's midday, they woke up sick today. How you feeling? They were all eating their lunch. So the first set, I went with who did I go with in there? Hanger 1. Oh, so we are going to have some horses that are likely castrated. This guy will likely be one of the first one. I can tell you the first one. The Peters are both rude. It's par for the course. It's not shocking. He's a Peter, and Uncle Danny, both going to be geldings sooner than later. First time Mike sharpens a scalpel. Those 2 will be castrated. I suspect, if I'm to guess, Hanger 1 won't be far behind them. Nice colt, but we're not going to play this. Is he too sharp now? We got to cut him. No, we're going to nip this in the bud. We've had enough green shoes. He's getting gelded immediately. So, nice colt, not dirty in any way. A little hyper, a little wound up. Not shocking. Take a look at his brother. That's his full brother. Just take a look at him. A little wound up too. Emerald Tom. I really like Emerald Tom. I like the way he moves. Now, obviously, this is Lauren's horse, Emerald Chip's brother. Rico Tubbs did his work well today. Again, it's not too hard to impress me. Don't kick, don't be rude. Listen to what you're being asked, and try and have some fun. A lot like kid sports, right? Be coachable, have some fun. That's what I tell Ollie all the time. Coaches love kids that want to listen, that want to do their work and want to excel. Be coachable. And everybody that I saw today, I had not one complaint from any of the riders. Oh, that's not true. Joe said that Pickpocket Sister. My apologies. I'm probably going to call her Pickpocket Sister for a while. Don't Ask Again is her name. Don't Ask Again. He said she was a little crabby. Felt like she was going to open fire, but did not. Emerald Tom, Rico Tubbs, Hanger 1, all went fine. Royal Flush Deal was good. Another guy squealing and roaring the whole time. I'm going to put up with that for a little while, but as we start to put work into them, if he's continuing to squeal and roar at other horses, for now he's fine. Put a little weight on him up front, he'll trot no problem. I'll tell you a horse that impresses me every time I see her on the track. Now I know who it is right away, but the first 3-4 times I saw her on the track, I had to ask right away, who is that? Who is that? It's Blue Rare, the Muscle Mass filly. She looks super impressive. And a little filly that I was really impressed with. Somebody said, well, we bought her in Ohio. Hold on. Megan's Lucky Day didn't come in from Ohio. She didn't come in until the Lexington horses got here. She looked very good. And a horse that I really like a lot, Had to Know, the Marseille Colt. I see somebody else must like him too. Somebody bought 15 shares from this morning. You guys know I get the receipts from the people that are buying and selling and trading, whatever. I usually just scroll through them and delete them because I don't need them. Just CC'd on them. But I did notice that somebody bought a lot of shares of Had to Know. Don't blame you. What a beautiful horse he is. Whole first set, very happy with them. My takeaways: Emerald Tom, good. Rico Tubbs, good. Hanger 1, probably going to be going to be castrated at some point. Royal Flush Deal may need castrated. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now. This is the first time they're in group settings too, so not too hard on them. Megan's Lucky Day, great. Hard to Know, great. Set 2, I'll tell you, I went with 2 horses today that blew me away, and it's not that hard to do this time of year. Do your work well, have a fluid gait, that is hard to do. To have a fluid, square gait, the trotters, pacers, it's almost impossible to have a fluid gait. You don't even have the hobbles on you. For a trotter to go out, put their head down and trot 1, 2, 3, 4, that's impressive. Neuromancer was one of the 2 horses that really blew me away today. And if you're watching closely, you probably know who the other one is already. Neuromancer was great. Horse that I thought looked extremely well, Joe J. Fotag. This was Joel's mare, the sister to Sweeney. Now the first sister was kind of a little rude, a little ignorant. This filly is nothing like her. The other filly ended up getting pneumonia and is pretty much done. Sweeney, very, very, very skittish would be the way I would categorize him. Joe J. Fotag, she was a little rude and skittish the first week or so. Looked perfect today. This was one of the horses. Somebody said, oh, she's a little sick. No temperature, ate her breakfast, no coughing on the track. And that's what Joe J. Fotag did. She looked great today. Captain Doolittle, I saw him a little bit. I lost track of him. Again, nobody said anything wrong. I was wrong with the horses. I remember he had a lot of snot coming out of him too. I believe I told Jason to pull this horse up a quarter of a mile early. He was going by me. He said, oh, you got a lot of snot there. Just go back to the barn. That was the one. Degas. Joey Cramp loved this filly the way she went. I was super impressed with her. Aunt Sarah. Joe Cramp asked me a couple of times about Aunt Sarah. Who is she? You want to know the breeding again? I said, oh, it's Tennessee Tom's sister. Uncle Danny. Looked good. Rude, little ignorant. Now, he was broke. First group. Still being rude. Probably after today voted most likely to become a gelding. Him and the other Peter. He's a Peter. Or he's a fearless Peter. Yeah. Probably both becoming geldings. And Hanger 1. They're my takeaway. If I see any more on here, I'll tell you. But those 3 for sure, yeah, going to be geldings. And then Supermind. Amy likes him. She goes to them all the time. He's beautiful. Big, beautiful bugger. He hogs on his head check. He said, there's only 2 ways to approach the hogging on the head check for the babies. That I would do. You can go severe. Put a birch bit or even a Crit Davis on them. I don't know if you want to do that to a baby in November. It seems a little rough. Just take that check off. What's he going to do? Tip over? Just take it off. No more holding, no more hanging in the head check. Then as you get a little more experience, you get a little more work in it, and they start to understand the work. If they're going to hog at their head check, then you can go to a Birchman. Maybe a check bit first, I should say, obviously. I know a lot of people use the Colt bits, right? We usually just put the head check on the snaffle bit. Never have any troubles with it, ever. Let it out as long as you want. But for the ones that really want to hog down on it, my first inclination for the babies, especially this, you're talking about October the 22nd, but just take that check off. I don't care. I just want them to go out and have their fun. Have fun. Have fun. Be coachable. They got on Sarah Uncle Superman. Yeah. That was set 2. Set 3 was the second horse that thoroughly impressed me today. And here, this is very important. I want everybody to pay attention to this. So when you go to the sales, and remember we were talking about how Mark McKelvey and I had the picks we had in day one Lexington were astronomical. They were both $500,000 plus, I believe. Amy's picks were all high. Do you know why? Because most people go by the videos, right? Get a beautiful trotter and a beautiful video with a great pedigree, good confirmation, and vets out. The sky is the limit to what that horse will bring. The other side of that is, if you don't have a great video, I will tell you this, if I ran a farm, I would never have a bad video. That videographer would stay there until that horse looked good. Because a bad video, remember I told you in New York, I almost got him for $25,000? Maybe you didn't believe me. Maybe you had to be there. I'm telling you, I was a heartbeat and a blink of an eye away from getting that horse for $25,000. We ended up paying $72,000. And again, that might sound silly to you. And I don't know if it was Irv Miller or not. There was somebody over by the bar that jumped in at the last second. The brother went for $600 the year before. He's made almost $200 already or more. He's in the Breeders' Crown final. He beat me with Memento Mori. He was third, I was fourth. Might have been second. Kings County's the other one. We already know how fast he is. How did their brother by Jim Panzee go for 20? Well, didn't go for 25. How did he go for 72,000? Well, I'll tell you why. Go watch his video. He didn't have a great video. Kind of awkward, kind of herky-jerky way of going behind. And he did that when we broke him. Beautiful stretches way out up front. Really nice gait up front. Behind, kind of a little choppy. We just put shoes on him. All of a sudden, that way of going wasn't there. Slick as a button this morning. And that's the other thing. What are you willing to forgive? Well, I can tell you that in New York's video was what happened to his price. And maybe they couldn't get him in. Maybe they tried all day and he wouldn't trot better. I don't know. He was trotting good today. He felt very, very strong today. That's a good-looking horse. The only 2 horses I went with that just felt like I might be able to turn them and go a mile in 3 minutes with them right now. 2 weeks in New York, and Neuromancer. Both of them looked incredible. So, food for thought. I'm not advocating in any way, shape, or form that you are to go and look for bad videos on horses. Not at all. But maybe do a little deeper dive on the horses. Why was there a video? We bought a horse 3 years ago. His name will come to me because I just watched him race. He won in the amateurs in Delaware. Went in 55. He was good for us. He was a little flat, great 2-year-old, little flat at 3 for Harry. We brought him to the Meadows. He come to life. Won like 3 out of 4 races. We sent him back to Ontario. Won another 3 in a row, and then we sold him. You don't need to tell me his name. By the time I'm done this video, it'll already popped into my head. I literally saw the horse walking out of the paddock at Northfield the other day. The worst video I'd seen. He was lame, literally lame, to the point where I called the farm. And I knew them, great people. I said, hey, what's up with this horse? A pus pocket, and the videographer couldn't come back, and we were debating whether we should even post it. I wouldn't have. We got him for next to nothing. He would have brought 3 times that. Easy. because that's all people have to go on: the page, the video. Then you start getting look a little closer. Now, all your lists, the way most people think is they're going to make a list of 20, 25 horses they want to zero in on. I'm going to zero in the whole sale book. I'm going to put notes on every horse. How's the video look? How's the pedigree look? And I'm going to price them. Pre-sale pricing. And I go look at all the horses I can. And it's much easier because we have such a great group of people that want to do this with us. Steve Palermo is in Hanover right now. Was today and yesterday. John, Randy, and Jim. Everybody that showed up. Rob that showed up in Ohio, that showed up in Lexington. We all went and looked at our horses. We all compared each other's notes. And the reason I like this, because we kind of in lockstep anyway. The horses they like, I like, and vice versa. So they know what I'm looking for. I know what they're looking for. So we can cover 900 horses, or the vast majority of them. Some of them you just pitch right away. You just don't want them. And I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be one of the more intriguing sales I've been to in quite a while, the one at Harrisburg, because it seems like over a third of the sale catalog is Green Shoes and Tall Dark Strangers. What are you going to do with the Green Shoes and Tall Dark Strangers? I am super curious. Now, Green Shoe has come to life a little bit in the second season. He is at least 2 in the Breeders' Crown, if not more. But Tall Dark Strangers let everybody down somewhat. We've seen this storyline play out before. What are you going to do with them? That's how we ended up with Solitary. Anyway, enough about that. In New York, he looked great. Very happy with him. Joe J. Fote looked good. Captain Doolittle, he looked good. Had some snot. We sent him back in early. Degas was awesome. I like this filly a lot. On Sarah, great. Uncle Danny, good. Snip. And Supermind was good also. Fourth set, these are pacers. Of course, they're not pacing. I was waiting for somebody to send me an email saying, Anthony, no, the pacers paced. I was just curious. Of course, they're not going to pace. It's day one. Although some did pace, they weren't pacing the whole way. Who were the pacers? Highest honors. Every time I looked over, he was pacing. Capistrano Knights, pacing. Sweet Lake, pacing. Solitary. That's not his name. Solidarity. I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Why has nobody corrected me? Until I literally just made fun of somebody the other day because I couldn't say it. Nobody corrected me. Solidarity. It's a much better name anyway. You guys dropped the ball on that. Solidarity paced. And Tyler actually likes that call. He's acting up a bit in the barn, being a little studdy. But I'd asked him, I said, I can't, just, I can't geld that horse for quite a while. It's a Tall Dark Stranger and a kissing in the sand. If Tall Dark Stranger happens to come to life in 2025, and we hit this horse, and he's a nice horse, I'm not gelding him for a while, put it that way. He'll be the last one castrated in the barn, if it comes to it. Solidarity. Shame on you. Millie girl, she doesn't have shoes on yet. She did her work. She was very inquisitive, out there looking around and everything, but did her work when I asked her to do it. What she could. Diosa Della Danza looked good too. I heard she was acting up the first week or so, being rude to Dancing Yankee. These things were tough as whalebone when we were trying to break them last year and the year before. Solidarity was good. He's moving nice. He had highest honors. First time I've seen him in over a week and a half or so today. He looked awesome on the track. Amy went with him. Capistrano Knights. She paces. She's a stubborn little bugger too, just like her mom. But she paces. Riding the rodeo, had a lot of snot coming out of her nose. She's such a beautiful filly. She does everything right. Now she's not pacing yet. I doubt it'll be a problem. She does everything right. And as I said to Joe, her brother was in the Breeders' Crown elimination the other day, riding the waves. He didn't make it in the final, but he was there. And Sweet Lake also paced today. A lot of snot coming out of her nose, but she's beautiful. And of course, her brother is Captain Luke, who beat me when time was on my side for second the other day, handily. Second beat ahead, 48 apiece. Nice quality. Nice filly. Now we had 2 short fields to finish things off. We had the scratch of Jolene Hall. Pretty Eyes and Lies. Nice filly. Opened fire a little bit this morning. We're all good now. She's fine. Tomboy Strong actually looked good on the track. Don't Ask Again, a little crusty today. She was a little angry, a little spicy in the morning. She looks fine now. And looked good, finishing up her mile. And Steady Bolo looked great too. Daniel, so I was really happy with that crew. And then the last set, no, Perfect Thought is an absolute beautiful filly. I mean beautiful filly. I like her a lot. Lifting Legend looked good. Dune, old Mishy, Michigan bred filly, looked good this morning too. And he's a Fearless Peter, will be on the castration list. He just pinning his ears, a little rude. Again, I've seen this a billion times before with Uncle Peters. Don't worry, we already have the playbook for those ones, and he's going to be a gelding real soon. But happy with that entire set, but thoroughly pleased with Perfect Thought. Lifting Legend looked good on the track. He's a Fearless Peter, did his work well, and Dune looked good also. Really impressed with the group. I didn't know, and I'll be completely honest with you, I didn't know they were doing it live. If they had asked me, hey Anthony, do you want this live? Absolutely not. Chaos could ensue. I don't know what's about to happen. These horses have jogged. They're going by themselves. They've never been in a group. They've never been in close proximity with any horses, let alone a group of horses. So no, if it's all the same, I'd rather not. But they did. I was really pleased, really happy with the babies today, happy with the day. I'm happy with the entirety of the day. My day is long from over. I'm going to get back to the track at 5:30 in Northfield. 6 o'clock, I got to warm up Widespread Panic. We're going to watch Your Mouth race tonight. And then it's a long break. La Dorienne, 10 o'clock. Purple Peep Leader, 10:46. Casanova Hall, 11:30, but we all know that's not true. Casanova Hall, 11:58 and 35 seconds. Is when that race will go. So it's going to be a long night for me ahead. It's 4:23 in the afternoon right now, and I will not get home until 12:33. You know what? That's the job. So 37 minutes of me yammering on about the stable and the stable horses. Very pleased with what I saw today, both the babies, the trainers, the horse that's raced so far in Lonely Lakewood. I will be back later on. I'll probably give you a quick video later on tonight, unless they don't race good, talking about Widespread Panic, Watch Your Mouth, La Dorienne, Purple People Eater, and Casanova Hall. Good luck to everybody. I will talk to you all very soon.